p.m. here on the East Coast, 1 p.m. on the West Coast. Today is December 19th, 2016. Welcome to Sports Feuzion News. I am your host, Alex Fuse. I am joined by Darren Haynes, ESPN reporter and anchor on Sports Center. Now, Darren, I know a good friend of yours, Craig Sager, passed away last week, and he was someone in this industry that I looked up to greatly growing up, still growing up. So, Darren, I have to ask you, you also grew up watching him. What was it like talking to him in person and watching him on TV?
Well, during certain games, like for example, when I used to work in San Antonio, I would see him, every once in a while, and our conversations were few, but we had those conversations just about like in the business because this was the guy that I would look up to. But what I remember and what I admire the most is because I worked in San Antonio and I had to deal with Greg Popovich. And every time he had an interview with Greg Popovich, I was always like on the edge of my seat, like, okay, how's he going to handle it? How's he going to handle it? So that was one of the things that I used to love, always enjoy watching. How is he going to handle Greg Popovich? Because I know Greg Popovich always put me in a weird position. And, he did the same thing with Sager, but, they both enjoyed it.
If you could give anyone advice in this career, what would it be?
Never to listen to anybody who says you can't accomplish something.
Okay.
I used to work at a jewelry store when I graduated from college, and I was trying to work my butt off to try to get my first job in the broadcasting business. And finally, I got my first job, and the district manager of the jewelry store told me, "Why are you leaving the jewelry business? The broadcasting business is too difficult. You'll never make it." And I mean, that burns in my heart and in my head. Like he just told me that yesterday. I don't know where he is. I know his name. I'm not going to say his name, but I tell kids, people I mentor all the time, this particular story, because how dare you tell somebody that they can't accomplish something when that's their dream? That's what they went to school for. So, I'm back on Sports Center. I'm off now. I'm back on Sports Center on Thursday. But, every once in a while, I always wonder, I wonder if he's sitting down and he puts on ESPN and then he sees me. He's like, wait, is that the same kid from the jewelry store? That's what I will tell everybody. Do not listen to anybody who tells you you can't accomplish something. They're probably saying that because they're insecure with themselves and they can't put in the hard work to try to accomplish and achieve some of the dreams that they had.
Now, let me ask you, what was the hardest thing, to get into this career, in your opinion?
It's a very competitive business, and you have to stand out in your own particular way. The best way, of course, is to be yourself. But sometimes it's a lot about who you know, and I've been around the business where I had to try to get as many phone numbers to break stories, while other reporters and anchors are trying to break stories as well. So I can remember days waiting, a half hour just for Ray Allen to get out of the locker room with the Celtics to get his phone number, or waiting until the media was done talking to David Ortiz to get his phone number. And Big Papi has helped me out big time in my career, giving me some great exclusive interviews. Because those are the things that distinguish you the most. But at the same time, it's very competitive, and you have people who are also trying to break stories as well. You have people who have their own style. For an example, on Sports Center, everybody who I anchor with, they're good. They're really, really good. It's like the NFL of broadcasters. And when I was trying to move up in my career, let's just say beginning of my broadcasting business was high school, and then maybe as I moved to like San Antonio, maybe that was like college football. It was always competitive, and I had to figure out a way to adjust my style to make it better than theirs and continue to improve. And that's probably the difficult part, because a lot of people aren't patient. They don't trust the process, and they realize that sometimes this takes time. So that's one of the hardest things, is just adjusting and breaking stories and building your contacts up so you can break stories.
Now, Darren, I know you just mentioned David Ortiz, and of course he retired this past season for the Boston Red Sox. And with the Red Sox trading to get Chris Sale, a lot of fans were calling for David Ortiz to come back for one more season. to possibly win a World Series ring. Now, as a reporter, do you think that was a possibility? I know David Ortiz said he would not come back. And would you think it would be a good option for David Ortiz to come back for one more year?
Would it be a good option? That's a question that you have to ask David Ortiz, or from the outside looking in, Ortiz has played for a very, very long time, and Ortiz has accomplished a lot of things, and it's not like, I haven't won a World Series. He did that. It's not like he's not an all-star. He did that. Now he's basically just waiting to make it into the Hall of Fame. And coming back another year is not going to make him not make the Hall of Fame. You get what I mean? He's accomplished so much. So he's an old man. He has his family. His son's getting old. I don't want to say what's the point of going back, but really he's accomplished so much, and to come back and to put in all those days of playing that whole summer away from the family, just because maybe you got a good pitcher like Chris Sale coming to Boston, that still doesn't guarantee that you're going to win a World Series. A World Series that Big Papi already has.
Now, also, and let's switch gears now and talk some NFL. I know yesterday was a big day for the Patriots. They won again. Now, with the Patriots, Tom Brady was out the first 4 games of the season. Are you surprised by how successful the Patriots have been doing this year, or no?
No, not at all. Like I told you earlier, I worked in Boston, so I know how this team gets down. I know what Bill Belichick does to make this team successful. They are a well-oiled machine. And one of the things that I admire about the Patriots is they know how to execute no matter who is in what position. I can get my grandma and put her at receiver, and they'll probably figure out a play at least get her 8 yards. They're just that good, so it doesn't surprise me at all that they were actually playing well even when Brady wasn't playing, and now that Brady's back, they're even that much better. So no, it doesn't surprise me. It's the Patriots' way. Bill Belichick knows what he's doing. If anybody doesn't follow his rule, he's going to put you on the waiver wires.
And with the NFL season, Super Bowl is only 2 months away now. Do you have any predictions about possibly who's going to be in the Super Bowl this year?
Really? You're gonna try to give me the two? I don't know about that. I don't know if I can give a prediction just yet. I can tell you some teams that I like.
Okay.
Of course, you're gonna have the Patriots in that mix. Okay. I like the way the Raiders are playing. Yeah. And the reason why is, what do you do when adversity hits you? There's a lot of guys. I used to I used to talk about LeBron James, even though I love LeBron James. But I felt like he was a guy, when it came down to the last second, even though he's an outstanding player, his heart is not like a heart like Michael Jordan. Meaning he may make more mistakes than some other people, even though he's an outstanding player. But during that crunch time with the pressure, his heart may not be the strongest in that particular position. The Raiders, for some reason, even if they're down in the fourth quarter, you can't count them out. And if they can be a team that can fight adversity and find a way to win in ball games, that's going to be the thing that's going to distinguish them from other teams when it comes down to playoff time. Because that's crunch time. So they show a lot of heart. So I would love to say, hey, the Raiders in the Super Bowl, but I don't know yet. But I love the way they're playing. That's why I can't give you a prediction. But I can tell you what I like.
Okay. What about Dallas? You like Dallas?
The Cowboys, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, City.
Maybe the Seahawks in there too?
No.
Okay. And I know the Patriots' best friend in the NFL, the Giants, they could possibly, they're in the mix too, right?
Say that again? I couldn't hear you.
The Giants are in the mix as well, right?
I'll say they're in the mix. I grew up a Giants fan. I don't really cheer for a team anymore, but the Giants, I'm going to call them like the haters. The spoilers are the haters, because they always seem to find themselves in a position just to ruin everybody's season. They didn't ruin the Lions' season, but the Lions are on a roll, and everybody in Detroit, they've been begging for a successful team for years. And the Giants come in and ruin that. And then how about the Cowboys? They've won so many games in a row. The Giants ruined that. I mean, we can go back in the day. The Patriots, remember, they're on the undefeated record. And then they lost in the Super Bowl not once but twice. The Giants it seems like they love to ruin a outstanding season by a particular team. I don't know if there's a team that's going to make the playoffs and make a run to the Super Bowl, but they're there to hate on some teams that feel like they can already make it.
Okay, Darren, one more question before we wrap up the Sports Fusion interview. Most embarrassing moment you've had on live television?
Jeez, most embarrassing moment I've had on live television. I had a bug fly in my mouth. Most embarrassing moment I had on television. That's tough. I don't know if I have.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing.
Most embarrassing moment I had on live television. Give me 5 seconds.
Okay.
All right. So it wasn't live television, but I had to record, and it wasn't necessarily embarrassing. I just didn't expect it to happen.
Okay.
I'm in the Texas Rangers locker room after they forgot who they beat. I forgot who they beat. It's funny, you never remember the team that lost.
Yeah.
But they advanced to the World Series. And so I'm in the locker room doing my stand-up saying, hey, the Texas Rangers, they're advanced to the World Series, this and this. And I don't know who it was, but they decided to pour a whole bunch of champagne all over me. And I'm wearing a suit. And at that time in my career, you're going to one of those stores where you buy one suit and get 20 free. So I wasn't the guy who had all the money in my pocket. I was the guy trying to buy suits that someone gave me a good sale on. So, I mean, they poured so much champagne on me and beer, I don't know what it was. So that was something, I don't want to say it was embarrassing, but that was like, what the heck just happened to me?
Oh, well, hopefully, you don't have any coworkers at ESPN that are going to come in on you at Sports Center and dump a bunch of champagne on you, right?
No, that won't happen. Jonathan Coachman will probably do something like that. Coach, yeah, he don't know what's up his sleeve.
Yeah, he used to work at WWE, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Darren.
What do you say?
No, I just want to say thank you for coming on the Sports Fusion News episode today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on. I really enjoyed it.
And I want to wish you the best of luck and hope to see you down the line.
All right. Hey, I'm on Thursday and Friday, Saturday. Okay. I don't think I'm on Christmas, though. Okay. 9 o'clock Sports Center. Check it out. Also follow me on Twitter. Okay. Darren M. Haynes, also on Instagram as well. And thank you for everybody who supports me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, please follow him on Twitter. Thank you, Darren, for coming on today.
No problem.
Okay, Fuse Nation, I'll be back here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Lee Schutter. Bleacher Report Patriots. We'll talk some more Patriots. Will the Patriots go deep into the playoffs? Well, I'll honestly that main question. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at 7 p.m. Have a nice day.